Welcome to the World Beyond 7.121. I'm Brian, WB9QVR. Today we're going to take a quick look at the Warrick County Indiana RACES communications trailer. It's a long name for something that's really a very cool project, something we think will be very handy in terms of serving the public, and just a heck of a lot of fun too. You'll find out a little bit about how this trailer came to be, what some of its current capabilities are, and some of the plans that the RACES director for the county has for the trailer. That's coming up on the World Beyond 7.121.
We call this the Auxcomm trailer for auxiliary communication, and that's literally what it's being designed for and built for. So that we can have amateur radio communication in here, we can have public service radio in here. The original start of this was whenever Warrick County only had a single repeater, and the EMA director was looking for a second repeater in the county for redundancy. We'd actually gotten a 440 repeater that's back behind me here. We were having trouble finding tower space to be able to put it on, and so we decided we'd make it a mobile repeater. We got a 50-foot mast. We're looking for a trailer, and the EMA director says, "Hey, we've got a trailer doing nothing. You guys can just use it." Obviously, it was a lot more trailer than what was needed for just a mobile repeater, so we decided that we would kind of add to it, add a couple of operating positions, and it's just kind of grown from that to becoming a full communications trailer. The idea is that if we need to deploy somewhere that's remote or someplace that communication may be a little bit difficult, we would be able to take the trailer there. The other option is if the MEOC is deployed somewhere and it's really busy in there, the radio room isn't very big to begin with, and it could get really noisy. We would actually be able to deploy this next to it and be able to connect the two via IP communication and be able to use this for the communications, and then they could use the MEOC for their incident management. Today, permanently mounted, we've got a 800 megahertz public service radio, and we've got a Kenwood 2-meter 440 radio. Right now we have a VHF UHF dual band antenna plus a VHF single band antenna already mounted on here. We have actually 6 NMO mounts external, so we can mount antennas on those however we need to. We also have an 800 megahertz antenna on for the public service radio, already pre-mounted. We have a HF loop antenna that we've got stored away down here that we can deploy wherever we need to. We have coax for that, and so we're set up so that we can put up an HF antenna as well. We also have a vertical HF antenna stored away in here that we're able to deploy relatively quickly as well. We do use it for field day. We've taken it out 3 times, I believe now, and it's worked well for us. We've learned some things each time, which hopefully you do. We've used it at the 4-H fair this past year instead of the big MEOC trailer. We've used it for winter field day, so we do try to get it out and operate out of it on a somewhat regular basis. We also try to get the MEOC out and operate out of it at least once a year. A lot of times we'll use it at field day because the EMA is very agreeable to bringing that out for us. Usually we set that up at the Boonville Park, and we also have it at the fair most years. Like I say, this year was an exception, but a lot of times we have it at the fair as well. So we try to get both of the trailers that we work with out at least once a year at minimum. Well, right now we do have air conditioning in here. That was put in by the EMA whenever they gave us the trailer. We do have a small heater in here so we can stay warm in the winter. We have a small refrigerator. We have space for a microwave, so we can put the small dorm size microwave in here. So it is designed to be comfortable to be in for extended periods of time. The thinking is that, you know, if somebody's deployed in here 12 or 24 hours for some reason, that certainly want them to be able to maybe have a hot drink or heat up a meal, you know, basic stuff, nothing extravagant, but at least to be comfortable. Here we are at the back of the trailer. You can see we've got a fair amount of room in here. One of the things that we were looking at from the beginning was how are we going to store everything? And thinking of the items that are long, we've got antennas here that are long. We've got, this is actually a 50-foot mast that is stored in here. And we looked at the desk, and there's always wasted space at the back of a desk. So we made the storage area in here so we can put all these long items in. We also have a HF antenna in there that we can deploy for vertical HF. Inside here we have already pre-wired 12-volt power with Anderson power poles. We also went ahead and put in data jacks, and those actually run to the front of the trailer where we'll be able to put a switch and be able to have IP communications through mesh networking or however we need to do it. Back here we also have a public service radio, and coming up forward here obviously a 120 power strip. We have the Kenwood VHF UHF radio, and we actually have all the lights independently switched, so we can switch lights off for the desk or each row of the lights above. We also have a small computer that's permanently in the trailer. It's a Nook computer, so it's very small. Eventually that will get mounted, and the display will also get mounted on the wall here. And come up front a little farther, we have our all of our power in this cabinet. And the cabinet down here, we actually have a battery backup system. Plus we have the West Mountain Radio power distribution there, their power gate, and that actually has a solar capability in that as well. So our solar panel that we have hanging on the wall back here can plug directly into that, and we're already set up for that. We also have our all of our antennas brought in here. All of the antennas on the NMO mounts brought in here, so that it's quick and easy to hook up you know, anything that we need there. The area over here we're going to have shelving in, still working on that, but all of the data circuits land here, and we'll have a switch actually up here, and we'll be able to do data communications there. Power supplies down here, and right now the lights and the radios all work off of one supply, but we're going to work on breaking that apart here in the near future. Up here we've got space for a refrigerator. I've got a small one in here right now. This repeater is actually going to go over on a shelf eventually, but this is our portable 440 repeater. Once that moves, there'll be space here that somebody would be able to put a sandwich together or anything like that. Space up here that we can put a small dorm-sized microwave. And then on this side there will be more storage going in over here, just shelving. So we're looking at a lot of storage area. We actually have a pair of Honda generators that were purchased by the EMA. They can be chained together. They are 2200 generators, so they're 2200 watts each. So combine them together, you get about 4400 watts of power. On both sides of the trailer we have NMO mounts already put on for antennas. You can see here we've got a dual band VHF UHF antenna, plus we have 2 additional mounts here that are currently capped that we can put additional antennas on. Power coming into the trailer here. This is for shore power. This power charges the battery as well as drives the power supplies, the 120, the air conditioning, that sort of thing. Coming around to the front of the trailer, we actually have a receptacle here that we can put the vertical mast in. It's designed to sit down in here. This is kind of a work in progress at this point because we need to put a high tie point up for that as well. So that's in progress right now. We were talking about the pair of generators earlier. Today we're just running on one, just because we don't have much power needs. We're not going to be transmitting or anything today. So we're just running on one right now, but we can chain these together and get a pretty high capacity. Certainly enough to run everything that we have in there. Also on this side of the trailer, we do have AC power, as well as we have 12 volts down here and a couple of Anderson power cords. So if somebody needs to operate outside, certainly we have that capability as well. We also have the additional rack up here, giving us the 6 total NMO mounts. In the future, we hope to have a permanently mounted HF radio. We're working on getting a mesh type of capability to it. We do have the repeater still, so we could deploy it and put up a 440 repeater on a 50-foot mast. So we do have a fair amount of capability right now, and definitely looking to grow that in the years to come. We're going to build out, putting the getting an HF in here, for example, wanting to get mesh set up a little bit better so that it's quick to deploy. I actually do have some Cisco IP phones that we would be able to put in here once I get them programmed, and I have a couple of switches that are PoE as well, so we could run the phones right off of that. Lots of things possible in the future. It's just getting the time to do them.
Steve, thank you so much for that great information, and most especially for the guided tour. If your group or organization is working on a similar project, we hope this gave you a few ideas. And of course, we're always looking for ideas from you, so drop those below, as they say. We hope you enjoyed this, and we hope to produce much more informative content all about the world beyond 7.121. See you next time.